right, we got our VIP session here. It's a little small, but I'm excited to continue this conversation. So we just finished part four. I always say day four, but we're going to call it part four, where we talk a lot about competition. And so let me get some feedback from everyone on, you know, the session. Was there anything that you took away from today? Any action items before we get into a deeper dive?
Yes.
You want me to go, Laura?
Mhm.
My biggest takeaway was analyzing your competitors, not just identifying what they're selling versus what you're selling, but what are they doing? What are they doing that's different, that's standing out, that puts them ahead of you, and how can you start to implement some of those things to almost, stay aligned or go ahead of them?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the uniqueness of when you really are trying to figure out what is, and I think this is something that a lot of small businesses struggle with is if I ask them what makes you unique, you're a dentist and there's 10 dentists in a 10-mile radius. And they're like, I don't really know. You got to figure out what that is. And it's easier said than done, unless, of course, you're doing some really intense um, analysis to go, well, how can I find this information out and make it easier? I think tools like the Simularch AI Toolkit is 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 a wonderful way to be able to really understand the true power of creating um, a unique path for yourself. Go ahead, Laura.
I agree with you about that. And to build on what Nikisha said, it's the setting it up to where you said a SOP, but just so that it's a regular, recurring, check out the competition. And it doesn't have to be weekly or anything like that, but definitely keeping up on what everybody else is doing in your market.
And it also gives you, again, and the point I made near the end was doing this work does more than what you were originally doing it for. It gives you so much more because of that, including making you newsworthy, you know, giving you, if an opportunity comes up for you to be somewhere or do something, or show up or speak, and now you have something unique that you could even entice people with because it was created specifically for that reason anyway, you
Mm.
know, to go, Laura, you speaking at some event around events and you just happen to have three great new calculators that people can just
Mm.
try without you even pitching buy my services. You're giving them, here's a great tool you can use. People love tools, especially if the tool can spit them out something that is unique to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Corey, what was your takeaway?
My takeaway is just the questions that some of the customers have to kind of engage and find out what's going on with the businesses and business owners, and basically utilizing some of those questions to try to gear what you're doing towards that. So to kind of like basically get ahead of the horse and create the content that the customer is looking for so that you can be more findable, just like your competition. So I think that's one of the things I took away from it that I think I will be utilizing at some point in this journey.
Gotcha. Now I saw some note taking. So anybody want to share with me what they were taking notes on?
One was your Reddit comments about the whole DM thing and don't put links in there.
Hmm.
And so it was a reminder on that. And but I'm glad that you had done that and that it actually spit it back at you, which is nice to know that it'll do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm hoping that wasn't just a me thing, that it is because I've only done it. I've only actually replied to one Reddit so far. And I've got a list of ones that I should be replying to. And as a matter of fact, I'll show you. So I'll go into my account and it's already done a few things. I just got to make sure that I am on the right section. It's either that or Quora. Let me try Quora. Is everybody familiar with Quora?
Oh,
Yep.
So Quora is like um, Reddit. It's another place
okay.
that you can create. So let me share my screen. This is the one that is going to take some time, but this is a great place to build authority.
Oh, Cora.
So I signed it to my Quora account, and I forgot how I set it up. I've set it up quite a while ago, but you can see here to the right, I've got spaces, marketing strategy, social media marketing, digital marketing, artificial intelligence. Somehow I picked these probably when I set it up. So if I click on this, one of these, when I signed in, had a ton of questions that I could answer. So it actually curated questions for me. And I just got to remember where it was. So bear with me for a second. I'm not sure if it was this one or if it was. Here we go. Yeah. So I'm on this. It says questions for you. So somehow it sourced these questions. How can small businesses create an effective marketing plan with a small budget? So I can answer it. How can you tell if someone would be good at running a business or not? I can answer it. You can see how many people have answered it. Um, and you can see, what marketing aspect should they start up focus on? So these are very relevant questions that I should be able to answer. So this is doing that. Answer requested. So let me see if I guess this here is someone actually asked you to request you to answer something. So I'm getting used to Quora and of course Reddit as well. So it looks like we got something in beta here. Answers, real answers from real people. So it looks like I could probably do some searching. So, but at the end of the day, I created a professional a professional profile on both platforms. And right now I'm going to be accessing them through tools like SEMrush and tools like Idea 8 that I can go in and actually have conversation with people based on things I'm already monitoring that are part of tools I already use. Okay. So, but you'll need, of course, to have a profile to be able to do so. Okay. Um, what else do we have? Hey, Erica, how are you? So what else did we have? What other things were you jotting down, or did you have more to talk about on that, Laura?
Let me check my notes. There's more comments about the visibility on that, and then further back was the new software that you showed us.
The new
Sneaking in the keyword everywhere.
keyword. Oh, that tool. Okay.
That
Yeah,
one.
yeah. That's just a. I know I mentioned that tool before. It must have uh, slipped out here, but that one is that's just it's just a extension plugin um that you have access to. So it's just up here. And there we go. Keyword everywhere. So if I click on that, I can see I have 67,000 credits left. And I think I purchased the 100K at the beginning of the year.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
So that they last a long time. And you could do what I primarily use it for is I don't use it as much because SEO has changed, but new vending machine. It just gives me another way to process data without having to go into a ton of other stuff. So um, one thing it does, it gives me this. So it gives me the volume. So all that is from that tool. So I can see the volume, the cost per click, and the competition. And there we go right there. So it gives me people also search for. So it's more about keyword research than anything. So, um, anything else that popped up for anybody? Or should I go back into the tool and then you point to something? Yeah, let's do that.
That can work. Yeah.
All right. So let's come back over here. So let me go a little bit deeper into the tool. So let's walk through each section here. So we got citation growth priorities. So let's use Laura since she's here. So let's go to a la carte. Let's go to citations. So piece by piece, we got citation growth priorities, AI generated strategies based on the latest data updates. So let's just we'll stay in Google AI mode. It's giving us some things like launch calculators and guides to replace generic sources, earn primary citations over social tables, and Patronics. I'm not really sure what Patronics is. Is that something specific to you? You know anything about
Mm-mm.
that? So this is
No.
something. So we might want to look that up and go, what is Patronics? Okay. But what we're doing is this is saying cited brands mentions by platform. So as far as cited brand mentions on Google AI, you're actually beating out 360 as far as the amount of citations as of right now. Okay. We come further down. How often your brand is mentioned in cited answers. So you're beating them out, and let's see, 360. So you've been doing pretty good. So they did spring up on the scene, and whatever they did, they did it right. But you and them are fighting neck and neck right now. Everybody else is fighting for scraps. So
Woo!
good for you on that. And then this says who AI cites when mentioning your brand. So you're being cited, of course, party slate. So these are top cited domains. So what does it say here? Your brand and the top five most cited domains in AI generated answers to questions related to your industry. So you are definitely crushing it here. Um, and I'm still getting used to this page, but this page was timely. So they probably broke this out from the perception page because I believe this was the page I was supposed to be on. And so they broke it out because now they're going deeper into the actual citations to allow us to go into the pages. So to look at the actual pages being cited. So on Party Slate, they're pulling your page. So your page is being cited. You have a 94% favorable sentiment. You've been cited 32 times because of that citation. Okay. Um, Best party and corporate food catering companies in Houston. So we can click here and see it to see if you're on this. So I'm assuming you must be on this page. Let's verify. Oh, that's your page. So this must be a page that you created. Or it's pulling you. Houston's best full service event caterer. Okay. So that so I'm not sure if that so I'm assuming that's not the title, right, Laura?
I think that one is the title on there, but we're on cited pages, so I'm not. I think you probably want to talk about cited domains more, right?
Well, the domains sometimes don't tell us where the citation is being directed to. I want to see the pages that are pulling the citation.
Okay.
Specifically, even if we look at the competitors, so this is where you might look at your competitors. Let's look at 360 Cater instead. And again, this is why I'm not sure fully how to use this section yet. So I'm just learning this one. So you got socialtables.com because I'm seeing you here, but I chose them. So if I had to guess, because I'm still again trying to learn this, is maybe this is still bringing them in the conversation on the AI search engines.
Okay.
So you're in here with them. You're in here because it's yours, but they're also being pulled in on this because of this. So I am not fully sure how to use this part yet. That's all I got for you. My bad. But the big thing here becomes this section here. So let's kind of see what it's saying to get more citations. So it's saying one, structured data and content design are underutilized citation levers. AI systems rely on machine parsable structure. Many frequently cited sources use schemable sections, and Q&A formats that make extraction easy. Implement organization, local business, service, FAQ, how to, and event schema across core pages, and refactor long pages into modular Q&A blocks aligned to AI prompts. Add jump links and TLDR summaries to increase snippet eligibility. Do you know what that
Mm.
means?
Yep. Too long didn't read.
Okay, everybody else get that? So this is where I think on, I forget which day we might went through, I kind of went through and said you need to start to optimize pages with, that frequently asked, that highlight section at the beginning, which can also be a too long didn't read, uh, frequently asked questions at the bottom, and then break out some of those paragraphs into bullet points. Now that might be more difficult to do on service pages and product pages because you can't just make that 1,000 words, 2,000 words because it's a service page like a blog article. But you can add bullet points. Uh, Prime example is if I go to AM equipment sales.
Well, and what's a jump link? How's that different than a regular hyperlink?
Nice. Yep. Jump link is this here. It might not do it in here. This might be connected directly to the another page, but if I click on this and it scrolls all the way down to the section,
Hmm.
that's a jump link or
Okay.
an anchor link. So basically, it makes it easier for them to get. If it says just buy your ticket now, and I click and it goes down to the buy page, the buy section of the page, so they don't have to scroll and scroll and scroll. So I do that a lot on certain pages where I just want them to jump. You can also do that if you've ever been on a blog article, and to the right they'll have like the top. They have the 8 sections that the blog article covers, but they're all hyperlinked. You click on it, it jumps to that section. That's the same thing. That's how you would do it for a blog article.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So I'm assuming didn't you start adding schema markup to your website?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess you're still doing it, right? It's not done yet.
Yes.
Okay, so this one here, secure placement on authoritative directories and venue partner pages. AI's trusts like the Knot, Wedding Wires, Party Slate, venue preferred vendors list, and local media are recurring citations. Missing or thin listing reduce citation odds, even when the brand is reputable. Refresh profiles with robust copy, menus, dietary badges, rentals, bartending, and recent reviews. Add press mentions and case studies. Co-create blog articles and planning guides with partner venues to earn contextual backlinks AI will reference. So, any questions here? And this could be for anybody, because just assume this was your brand. So what it's saying here is, let's say you do have citations. Maybe you need to go and update them. You know, fill it. Most citations you can have a free listing. If you're using a citation builder platform, it'll create those citations for you, but you might want to go in and beef it up. You know, there's a way that you can beef it up to the point before you have to pay for it, or you can upgrade and pay and add more features to it if it makes sense. on any of the platforms you might be on, like Bing and Yellow Pages, if they still have that, and City Search, and any type of platform like that. Next one, it says increase first party citations by building authoritative, linkable how to resources. And the analyze answers, AI frequently cites generic guides, social tables, patronics, uh, caterees. So these must be guides.
I
Okay.
just looked it up, and Paytronics is a point of sale system, so I'm not sure why that's showing there. And then Caterees is a software um, that is used by caterers for doing proposals and tracking everything and rentals, etc.
All right, well, let's see what it's saying, how we might use it. Over catering sites, only a few answers reference a la carte service page, indicating room to become a primary source. So it says publish original citable assets such as a Houston catering pricing examiner, guest count calculator, alcohol permitting guide, and downloadable checklist for wedding, corporate, nonprofit events. Add how-tos and free FAQ schema, clear headings, and statistics so AI favors your page as sources. So maybe you might leverage, if these are tools that people use, maybe have a page mentioning them,
Okay,
to that point, and maybe a kind of like a pros and cons of each one, which are, so it may not have much to do with your industry as far as directly related to you, but they're part of your industry. So that could
sounds
be
good.
a scenario. Let's look at this urgent one. Publish original data and thought leadership to earn unique citations. AI tends to reuse competitive listicles. Novel data can break through. Few sources offer Houston specific metrics or insights, making original research highly site worthy. Maybe, so let me see what it says, 'cause I got an idea. Release a Houston catering trends annual report, seasonal sources, popular service styles, beverage trends, and average costs. That's kind of what I was thinking, to create something like, did you know, there were 30,000 weddings in the Houston area last year. There was this many this, boom, boom, boom. I don't know. Something quirky even. I don't know where you get that information, but maybe this could be, the most requested food at a catering hall. I don't know, something that has some level of statistics that could be very unique that no one else has.
Got it.
Okay. Um, so a lot of this it's not going to be, some of the stuff won't be easy. It's a bit of an undertaking, but that's the whole point of it being unique and original. So Nikisha, I see you writing. What are you writing?
I'm writing down that I have work to do. And Laura, I don't know what Laura did. I was going to ask Laura actually what she did because Laura numbers skyrocketed compared to 2 weeks ago. Remember when you were looking at 360, Laura?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And 360 was kind of coming up on you. But if we look at what you've done, I don't know what you're doing, but
Now
your
it's
numbers are shooting up.
now it's different based on if we're talking about visibility versus citations, so that you can see visibility, 360 catering is crushing her.
Oh, they still have. Okay.
So it just depends. So you can have great sentiment, but low visibility.
Hmm.
Sentiment, these are the two top things that AI search is measuring: how people view you, and then how often you're showing up in search. So those are the two different things.
So can she leverage the sentiment to increase her visibility? And if so, how?
No, not necessarily. If you've got great visibility, you can have, like, I have great visibility for moving forward. I mean, I have incredible sentiment for
Hmm.
for moving forward small business, but my visibility is low because I still need content to match the search. Sentiment is how people feel about you, whether they, and that, which means they have to know about you to communicate that part.
Okay.
Okay, but but the rest of people don't know you yet, so your visibility is still low. So you have to create. So you either have to focus on one or the other, or you can do stuff for both. So a prime example, if I look at moving forward small business, you can see in most cases I'm barely showing up as far as visibility because I'm being compared to Behemoth, Score, SBA, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But if you look at my, let's look at citations. Look at my citations, which will talk about my sentiment. Look at that. I'm behind Score and ahead of SBA.
Yeah.
If I look at complexity, so I'm doing a great job of when I do show up, I'm being viewed favorably. And so, and sometimes as I'm looking at this, as I sometimes not all visibility, not all brand recognition is good brand recognition when you're really big. Somebody's not going to like you,
Right.
and they're going to probably be voicing that. We haven't gotten that big yet,
Got it.
where we piss someone off, and now they're out there going, moving forward, small business sucks. You know, but I know plenty of people that have said Score sucks and SBA sucks. And that doesn't mean they suck. They just had a really bad experience and they put it online.
Yeah.
You know, so you can be doing great in one area. And I think I mentioned this earlier. A lot of small businesses, if you've done a decent job with your brand, your sentiment will most likely be higher and will be pretty high. You've had to have definitely done a bad job and done some shady stuff to where your sentiment would be not so good. So
Nikisha, take that list at the bottom that says the action items thing and just hammer on those. Like it tells you exactly what to do. So just hit where we are right now, the strategic opportunities,
And
and
just,
just knock them out.
yeah.
Start with the urgent and get through what you can. And then when you check it, they will change. So, but start there.
Okay.
absolutely. And so I'm on mine because this would be more relevant to Corey, you, and Nikisha, and even Erica. So for my citation, it says earn citations by matching the tone and structure of sources SearchGPT prefers. The model leans on government and EDU, Wikipedia
Oh,
style pages, reputable media, and well referenced guides. SBS moving forward small business content is not formatted or placed on or placed to be cited. Moving forward small business should publish neutral, reference rich guides with external citations and a concise encyclopedia style overview. Pursue eligible uh, eligibility for a neutral knowledge based entry and contribute data backed articles to Entrepreneur Business News Daily while collaborating with SBDC library directories for inclusion. So this is definitely it's a lot there. You're laughing because I'm looking at that going, ah, because the problem is I'm trying not to be like them in that way. Not in that way, but I'm trying to be different. Not that I'm not trying not to be not like them, but I want to be different. I want to be unique. But there's still certain things that I should do to get me to show up more because again, they still cater to the same audience that I cater to, the same audience that you cater to.
so what I just got from that is if you do your guide that you mentioned, right? Because they say they reference .gov, edu, and I'll just put Wikipedia in like the parking lot. But if you were to do your guide where you're comparing what you do compared to what SBDC, SBA Score does, that would be the type of citations that they're looking for.
Well, it'd be the type of content that they would cite.
Okay,
So
got it.
my next step would be is I would go to I probably start with either the SBA, whoever they, let's see, rich, sure, I would go to one of these platforms and look at, and this is where I would go back up here and find where they're citing them to look, take an exact look at the page that they're citing. And that's where the pages come in. So now if I come back up here and I go, I want to look only at score and SBA. And again, this is how I'm assuming it works. And I want to, let's just do top 1 through 5. And let's do everything 1 through 5. So I just want the top of the top. So I'm assuming this would be top 100. There we go. And let's see what this is. Let's do top 5. So I just did top 5, and I chose this the opposite because we want the favorable sentiment to be high, not low. Now, what I want to do is I want to try to find places that are being cited that match what it said. So Chamber of Commerce. So let me see if I go, hopefully it keeps all that. And I want to go to the actual page that they're citing. Again, seeing a lot of Wikipedia here. And this might be the biggest issue I have. I might need a Wikipedia page. So this here, because this is highly citable, Wikipedia. So if I go to their Wikipedia page, so it's a very well laid out page. So at this point, and look at all the citations, the references. So, and even if mine is small, it's a starting point. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have to create a Wikipedia page for my brand. So you might not see a lot of Wikipedia for Laura or for AM Equipment Sale, but you are for me, because look who I'm being compared against. I'm being compared against some really big organizations. Well, they're literally government-backed organizations.
Mm-hmm.
So I got some work to do, and they use a lot of original content, but they have unlimited financial resources to run these things. Now I can either switch my competition and focus more on organizations like Vistage, Indie Hacker, Startup Grind, and remove myself from Score and SBA, and then just compete with them. I still would be losing against SBA and Score because they still do cater to my audience, but I still could try to beat out my other competitors. So I got a decision to make. I think I'm going to have to go head to head with them because of the way I'm positioning moving forward, small business.
Hmm.
You know, but either way, if I create this content, it still becomes very useful. I can do so much more with this. So I have a lot of options, unfortunately. One thing I might lean in heavier into will be usable apps. These things that can personalize something that they probably would not want to do. So that might be one place where I can try to win.
Do either of them have paid programs, or are they both free?
In most cases, they're pretty much all free.
See, so I don't view them as a direct competitor for you because of that. It's
Right.
more the other marketing focused paid programs that I think are more your competition.
Right. How many different types of competitors do we have?
5.
Right. So they're not direct or indirect. They're more like replacement competitors. You know, I can still get some level of education and training for free through them, even though I know I could pay you and get very specific training. So
Okay.
there's still a competitor. The question is, how do I treat it? You know, if I want to be a household name, I would then have to compete with them. because they're a household name.
Mm.
The other ones are not. You'd have to be in it. You have to be in it to really know Entrepreneurs Organization or Vistage. But if I say Score, everybody on this call goes, yes, I've heard of Score.
Yeah.
So I don't. So I will compete with them to a degree. The question now comes for me is how much do I want to compete with them? And that's just because they are in my industry. You guys won't feel that same thing, unless of course you go into that direction. I'm trying to help 1 million small businesses. That put me there. Other things put me there as well, but those are the numbers they're doing. That's the number. That's where I need to go. I need to be as recognizable as that to some degree. I don't have to fully be that recognizable, but those strategic partnerships, you show up in almost any small business event that is kind of generic, you're going to see them there, at least one of them. So their partnership structure is tight because, of course, they're a government-based organization. One of the biggest things that helps them both Score and the SBA is their financing. And see, I don't, and that's why I think I mentioned a while back, I probably need to add a financing component for businesses to try to get financing through a third party,
Mm.
because that's one of the big things that these small businesses are looking for is financing. And we don't do that. So I'm going to have to go into that realm at some point. We don't have to be the expert. We just have to be able to have it be a portal for financing because of our standing and where we are. So there's much more to unpack there, but I don't want to speak too much more about me. I want to talk back about you guys. So what I would love to see from Corey, you and Nikisha is some tool that you can start to actually really analyze your standing. So you can so you get this real time stuff and then figure out, well, what am I supposed to do with it? Even if it is the HubSpot tool for now. Dropping Alexander Sky Group in there and getting some type of real time feedback. Okay. Did I go through everything? So how often your brand is mentioned. So that's pretty straightforward here. So again, I'm getting some good mentions. And again, we've been doing a lot lately. We got this series. I got another series coming up. We got press releases that we've been putting out. We got quite a bit. So those numbers have started to climb a bit. You can see we actually did take a dip here. And then we just have to correlate it back to what were we doing around that time? What was going on? So I have to do a better job of checking that out. And again, this tool is new, so I'm still trying to figure out what does this really mean. So I could have a few things wrong, but that's what playing with the tool is, especially a tool that's so cutting edge. They're figuring it out and you're learning. So, yeah. All right. So, any final thoughts? We'll go ahead and get ready to shut her down. Is there anything else you want me to look at?
I'm good. I'm just again taking it all in, and again, like you said, just start somewhere. So I think I am going to start with that HubSpot tool and see what I can get out of that first, and then work my way up. Try the 7 day trial. Probably, I want to try the 7 day trial at the end of the Semrush
Yeah.
series, so I can see, get as much as I can out of the tool during those days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I added to the to-do list, Corey. I got you. Jimmy, you mentioned one of the things that those organizations have is the financial component that you don't have or
Mhm.
you don't cater to. I think that definitely is one of the ways to kind of have the conversation. because business owners, some of them think they have financial issues, but they really don't. But if that opens up the conversation, then you can really see what the issue is. But that's one of the biggest issues with business owners. Everyone thinks they need financing.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah. And we've identified, I think, at least two potential partners. So we've already went there. And now looking at the data, we're like, all right, we're probably going to have to move on that sooner than later,
Yeah,
um, to get that integration in and then integrate that into our overall messaging.
yeah.
So, okay. Uh, Erica, I know you're a little late. Is there anything you want to ask or add?
I can't think of anything, but it was nice listening in.
Okay. All right. Well, then, with that being said, I thank you all, as always, for being here on the VIP session, and hopefully others find value in this conversation. And I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Have a great
All
day.
right. All
Thank
right.
you, Jamie.
All right, Laura, Erica, see you later.